when I was just making the transition. When we met, when we were with AAA.
Jake.
With Jake.
Yeah. Bro, let me tell you, I don't think I ever told you this story. I got to tell you this real quick. Jake, we both love, and I don't need to tell you how wild he was back then because you were with him. Right. Okay? And he was such a fucking pain in the ass that I had actually told Peña, why don't we just get DDP? He's cheaper and a lot easier to deal with it. He'll take bumps. Jake wasn't afraid to never take a bump, remember?
No, you're out. Oh, dude. Remember we went on that tour in the Philippines, and him and Cowboy Bob Orton, they went about, I used to have it on film, and I've loaned it to Van Hammer, and it was gone forever. But I had a match of a house show that we were at with Orton, Cowboy, and Jake. They went 48 minutes. The place was going crazy. If they took 2 bumps apiece, it was a lot.
Right. Were you on the Joe Rogan show? I think I saw you.
Yes, dude, it was huge.
I gotta see that because I saw the one with Jake.
Me and Joe actually text back and forth. I'm lucky that he really likes me, and he's a super cool motherfucker.
Is he a wrestling fan?
Super cool mother. No, not at all. Not at all.
He loves the stories,
but he appreciates what we do. You know, and it took him a little while for that. But, you know, when I was on his show, he says to me, he said, man, I had to, here's what happened. I tried to get on his show for years, trying to get to him, and I couldn't. Right. And then one day I'm going through YouTube, and someone put pieces of his show together that was one inspirational thing after another. They did a compilation. Right. And I'm listening to this. I'm like, this guy thinks exactly like me. Right. And I look up above me, I go, God, you've got to get me on this show. I have to get on this show.
Right? He's from Jersey, isn't he, originally?
You know, I didn't ask him that. But listen, I say, God, I got to get on this show. And I swear to you, 2 days later, he DM'd me on Twitter. He was following me. Sweet. And he said, hey, bro, coming out to the LA anytime soon? Love to have you on the podcast. And I'll tell you what, it was the biggest thing for our company and our branding since Shark Tank. It was that big.
Wow.
Yeah, it was big. It was big.
Yeah, good, man. That show's great. I'm going to check that out, huh?
It says here,
love it. A lot of fun.
Joe Rogan's from Newark.
There you go.
I can't believe I didn't friggin' ask him about that, because, I'm a Jersey boy.
Right.
What exit? I said fellow Jersey boy.
What exit?
98. Friggin' Bill Murray. God, John.
That's awesome. What else do you got going on, my brother? What else are you doing, or anything big you got coming up? And before you say that, what did you think of our boy Disco not getting a passport to go on the cruise?
Oh my God!
Did he get buried?
Get to that.
Yeah.
Oh my! I tell you what, it was so typical Disco. What the funniest part was, did you see Jericho with his disco nose on Halloween with the hair and the whole?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Man,
I didn't like that. I thought that was offensive. I was offended. I thought it was rude. I thought it was very rude.
Who smartened me up, because I'm thinking, damn, is he doing Glenn? And I'm sitting right next to Hurricane, right?
Yeah.
And Hurricane, I go, man, am I crazy, or is he doing disco? And he goes, of course he's doing disco. He fucked up and didn't get his passport. He's the only one who didn't make the show.
That's tremendous.
Oh my God.
Dallas, I want to tell you this. I want to tell you this real quick, man. It was incredibly cool and beautiful to see you again and chop it up with you on that Eddie Guerrero tribute. That was I reheard it again, and it was so beautiful, and I met your lovely wife, who was very nice also, and we got a chance to chop it up, and I had seen you over at Kira and
Johnny's wedding.
Johnny
Hannigan's wedding.
Yeah, it's always good to see you again. You don't really know how you miss people until time starts going by and you get more mature and you appreciate more things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, dude. I I will never forget some of the stuff we did early on, especially the thing with Jake, because I was like blown away. And I'm gonna blow your horn a little bit here, but when we came out and we did that thing out in L.A. and you came out and they had back, the friggin' all the entrances for Lucha Libre are amazing. But when you came out, brother, that place, that was like a Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior pop. It was like crazy. I was like, man, this guy doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
He just looks at them and they go crazy.
That was such a great time. Plus, it was great because you were seeing a young Eddie Guerrero and a young Love Machine that a lot of people never got to see. Man, yeah, he's the two of those guys together. Like, when you really think about all the great talent, like, wow, like that. Those guys were a tag team. And then that was the group. The Gringo group was you, Jake, and them. And bro, you guys got a ton of heat, and you took some great bumps for me too. And it was just a great time in our life, and it was a great time in the business. It was just a different rabidness to the fans that you kind of don't see anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It all the way through that, and getting Jake, because Jake was at the end of his shit then, but he was still great.
Right.
I didn't get to go with him to Mexico that time, but I remember he was telling me like he had to have the police take him out of there because he had him so crazy they were going to kill him.
Right. Yeah, because he was a great heel, his just mannerisms, with the big boots and then he had for a while Sherry Martel as his manager. So,
Right.
It
was amazing. It was love her to death, but crazy as a loon at times, Billy. She would go with shit, boy. But she was, it was so funny when she got sober. It was a completely different person.
Yeah.
Because Kimberly and her were good friends, even when she was crazy. And then when she met her when she was sober, she was like, "Oh my God, she's a completely different person."
Yeah,
that's what happens.
1000%, bro. Disco, anything else before he plugs anything that he has?
No, nothing, man. How's it? Has Raven been going down to the?
He's matter of fact, I talked to Rave today. Now you talk about another guy here who's like me and him have both grown a lot. We both grown as human beings.
Right.
But we're Raven back in the day, and probably me too. At times we were high maintenance. And as we've gotten older, like we really enjoy each other's company. Right. And I was just talking to him about coming over for dinner next week when I get back into town, because I just love being around him, and I couldn't believe how hard he's worked on, because you guys know, I tell you, like when you get really beat up, this shit will really help you. And for when I got Raven doing it and talking about it, like that was as big as to me as Jake. Where Jericho is a guy who's way ahead of the curve, and he's been ahead of the curve his whole life. Right. For him to, like he's the greatest, either disabled veteran who couldn't walk without knee braces, back braces, and wraparound canes for 15 years.
Right.
And then he loses 140 pounds and the braces and runs. That's one example. The other is Chris Jericho.
Right.
Like when you can blow your back out at 41 and they say your career's over, and in 3 months, I got him back in the ring 100% pain-free, and then he just stole the show in Japan at the Tokyo Dome at 48 years old.
And DDP, let me tell you something that you'll like. So, the worker side of me, the pessimistic side of me, maybe, I actually called Chris Jericho because how like sometimes wrestlers, I found God, or he's in a band. You're like, this is like a work. And so I actually called Chris and I go, yo, what's up with the DDP yoga? Is that a work or what? And he goes, no. He goes, if it wasn't for that, he goes, my career would have been ended. And I go, really? And he goes, yes. He goes, that really saved me.
Really awesome. Because he when you get the boys to do that,
Right.
And he was the first one.
Right.
And after that, like AJ does my shit 5 days a week. The guy who I really have not control over, but they really listen to me. Is guys like Drew McIntyre.
Right.
Because when Drew came in, he got that monster push, and he didn't know how to handle all the shit that goes with that.
Right.
And then they pushed him all the way down to the bottom, and then they got rid of him.
Right.
And then he comes back, and now he looks like a damn He-Man doll.
Right.
And he can work his ass off, and he can cut a promo.
Right.
But he also knows he's only there as long as doesn't get hurt.
Right.
To be able to work that schedule. So he does my shit all the time.
Yeah.
And he tells everybody about it. So, you're not going to get everybody, but
you know what's funny? Here's what's funny about it, that every wrestler, and you've been very gracious with a lot of wrestlers that you've given him, a free app. You've even given it to me. I just haven't downloaded the motherfucker. But and so you're paying it forward to all these wrestlers who are word of mouth, because there's no better publicity than word of mouth. Anything else that you got coming up? Any projects? Anything that you want us to look out for?
No, baby. Look around. You'll see the NFL alumni things starting to happen. I'm also working privately with two of the Atlanta Falcons. Which I love doing because I don't charge those guys anything. I just want them to talk about what I'm doing and how I can help keep them in the game longer. So that's my goal, is to start working with the highest end athletes in this next couple of years, and still work with regular people, and people who have lost hope. If people want to know, oh God, how did I forget this? We've got a Positively Unstoppable challenge right now. To go, if you go to positivelyunstoppable.com, you can have the chance to win $1 million. It is a 4-month transformation. It ends May 31st. It's starting right now. And bottom line, it goes all the way to May 31st. What is going to be your physical and your mental transformation? 1 million. 2 people will be selected and will be, if they're not in Atlanta, will be flown to Atlanta. They'll stay at the accountability crib. Anybody who's coming through Atlanta, if you want to stay at the accountability crib, it's now an Airbnb. So you can stay in the Jake the Snake Roberts suite, or the DDP suite, or the Razor Ramon suite. I bought another house for my wife, and we love it, but we love that house too. So we just turned it into an Airbnb. And so we're going to fly the people in, put them up at the Airbnb, and then we're going to bring them over on Facebook, and we're going to do a live opportunity for them to win $1 million. Like, it's going to be crazy. And, people are signing up. We've got thousands of people, of course, signing up. And the whole thing is, like, again, at the beginning of my book, guys, the first 3 lines to the book say this: what would you do if you knew your success was guaranteed? In other words, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
Right.
Like, if you enter shit like that.
Right.
Like, and that's how I entered wrestling at 35. That's how I entered. And everybody was like, you're fucking crazy. It's never going to happen. I got a fucking Hall of Fame ring on my finger right now. So don't tell me that, But the best was Steve Austin living with me in 2004.
And not only that, DDP, and in a business that when you got in, just like when I got in, it was not easy to get in like it is now.
No, it wasn't.
Right.
And we're talking about the biggest names of all time were fucking in the top guy spot.
Right.
And bottom. And I lived a dream, but it was the message I put in my own brain, and that's why I talk about Positively Unstoppable, And I teach people how they can do it too. But when I was creating DDPY, what is getting known, and everybody, remember I said it, 3 years from now, everyone will call it DDPY, everybody. But it's going to take 3 years for that to happen, and I know that, which I'm cool with.
Right.
So bottom line is, when I'm living with Stone Cold Steve Austin at the time. I bought a new house. Me and Kim got divorced. I'm friggin', divorced and got a room open in this place I just bought.
Right.
And I said, hey, bro, you want to, both want to do the acting thing? You want to move in? He's like, I'm in. So he came, and so he's watching me in between us studying for, our acting careers. He's watching me try to put this beginning of this DDPY thing together. And he's like, so let me get this straight. You're gonna get people to do your yoga for people, but it's not going to be for yogis. You're going to give it to people who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga. Right. I was like, yeah, that's it. He goes, you're fucking crazy. It'll never happen.
Right.
So we all know where that went.
Right.
All right, boys, listen, that's all I got. Go to ddpyoga.com. It's all there. Go to positivelyunstoppable.com and join the contest. $1 million contest. My driver is just actually pulling us up right now. I love you two sons of bitches.
All right.
Let me know when you're coming to Atlanta. Konnan, if you're coming to Atlanta, you're staying with me. Okay?
All right. Thank you, Dallas.
right, peace, Tals.
I love you guys, man.
All right, love you
Great
too.
talking to you guys.
You too. Thank
See
you.
ya.
See ya.